Poor people think about cash. Rich people think about credit and debt. Now, it's a lot of people that will disagree with what I just said. And some people that don't even really understand what I just said. But like most of my videos, if you think about it just a tad bit, this is what I'm saying to you. Poor people tend to think about cash, actual dead presidents, actual paper money in their hand. They tend to think about the accumulation of cash, of having it in their hands, in their pockets, to show off, sitting around, whatever. But they actually, in their mind, when they think of money, they think about cash. Actual rich people rarely use cash. They use credit and debt. And they use debt usually in a responsible way. Not in a way that's like, oh, I'm out of cash, let me use debt. No, they use debt to get more cash. So this is what I'm saying. When you see people a lot of times flashing off what they consider big money, big large amounts of cash, whether it's some video they got it sprawled out on the bed, whether they go to the strip club or some shit and they tossing it up in the air. I do understand, especially from my background, I do understand once you feel like you're getting it, once you feel like you're winning, once you feel like, you know, fate is a little bit on your side at this moment and you got some resources, you want to celebrate. Maybe you even want to show it off. I'm a Sigma male, so I don't tend to show off too much, but fuck it. You put in the work, whatever, show it off, live it up. But the thing is the actual fascination, the actual idolatry of money, of cash money, of and tossing it up in the air, and even when it comes to a certain representation of jewelry or cars, if you're going to really, really be raw about it, when it comes to people who really have money, that's poor talk. You flashing that $100 bill to people who really have money is the equivalent of you flashing a fucking food stamp. I swear to God it is. You think you look big time because you got, $2,000, $10,000 in $100 bills and 20s. But to people who really have money, they would never have cash out like that. They would never show you. It's not that important to you. And to them. It's important to you. It's not that important to them. What's important to them is the accumulation of assets, credit, and debt. Poor people mismanage debt, and then they have to avoid it. They have to default. They have to go hide out and run away from it and wait 7 to 10 years. I know, I've been there. Wait 7 to 10 years before that shit goes away and they can poke their head back out again and get a loan from somebody. People who really, really have money, they know how to manage that debt. So that, yeah, there's times when that debt is pinching them. And there's times when they're getting further and further credit limit increases and a better and better relationship with the banks. Because here's also what a lot of people don't understand. It's fucked up. It's fucked up, but it is what it is. Banks love people with money. But not just people with money. They love people who know how to use and spend money. So if you're someone that's just out here spending on consumer goods, you got a nice little couch. You got a nice little TV screen. You bought, a nice little new car, or, a car that's used but only 2 years old. Like, you do these different things that are consumer purchases, but you're not actually acquiring any assets. You're not putting your money into any investment vehicles. You're not even fucking saving. You're just straight spending it. A bank looks at you and they say, oh yeah, we'll give you more money to spend, dumb motherfucker, because you're going to go spend it and you're going to owe us. Debt. They're thinking about debt. On a certain level, they want to put you in debt because that's how they get rich. You the stupid motherfucker that's out here spending it. As soon as it comes in, I'm spending it. I want to let everybody know that I got it. And then how many tales have we heard of people who had it? They had it. They was doing it. They was making it big. Doing it big. And then years later, you find out, yeah, they jerked off all that money. They had too good of a time with it. Or maybe they were supporting people. Good for you. You're supporting people, but you didn't really, you built an infrastructure of people that you were paying, but you didn't build an infrastructure of things and people that were paying you. You see what I'm saying? It's more drawn out than that, and I don't want to go into individual stories. But the point is people who really, really got money, and I'm not acting like I'm sitting on no pile of cash or assets, but I do know I'm making a climb. I can look down and see where I was and look up and see where I'm still trying to go and have respect for the whole journey. Have respect for the whole journey. But I'm telling motherfuckers who haven't quite made the climb that I've made yet, and I still ain't done shit. I'm out here doing it, and I still ain't done shit. You gotta have that mentality. I scored a touchdown, but I still ain't won the game yet. But yet you want to tell a motherfucker who, like, you still stuck on the 20-yard line, the 30-yard line. I'm telling you, this is how you get to the end zone. This is how you score that goal, but it ain't the end of the game. So you got broke off. To give you an example, I own a couple of different businesses. That's why I'm diversified. Let's say hypothetically someone came along. They wanted to cash out one of my businesses. They wanted to buy it. Just say hypothetically, they're like, look, we want the business. We like what you're doing with it. We want to take it further than what you're doing with it. Thank you. We'll take the ball from here. We'll take the baton from here. And, we'll compensate you. Say they want to break me off $100,000. Okay. First of all, depending upon how the transaction goes down, if it's in cash, if it's in that sweet, holy cash that you love to show off, taxes done cut 40-45% of that now. Now I got 60. Instead of $100,000, I got 60. Whereas people who really got money, who really got wealth, they know how to transfer that in a certain way that they don't take that full hit. They may not take a hit at all, but they don't take the full hit. So now that 100, no, I got 60. But now, what type of motherfucker would I be? First of all, the transaction would happen either through check or through just straight transfer from one account to another account. And then I break that down and split them into other accounts that I got, whatever. But it would not come in, more than likely, in a legitimate business, it's not going to come in $100,000 in cash. More than likely. So now, like I say, that check, that transfers come to the bank. They got record of it, yada, yada, yada. So what I look like taking that $60,000 and then going to the bank and saying, hey, can you cash this out for me? 20s, 100s, 50s, 10s, you got it? Whatever. Can you cash this out in paper bills for me? First of all, I'm going to smoke on this one. That's my catchphrase. I got to smoke on this one. First of all, you go to the bank, you say, I want to take out 60 in cash. A lot of banks are going to pause for a second and look at you up and down, potentially go in the back, say a little something, fill out a little form, press a little button, whatever the fuck they do, just to be like, hey, there's a large amount of cash that's coming out. Has this customer done this before? Like, what's their track record with us? Do they got finances like that? Like, where did this money come from? Like, it's all of a sudden questions going to start getting asked. It's just $60,000. For some people, $60,000, but in the real scheme of things, $60,000, but still, it's $60,000. It's a large amount of cash that you want to withdraw? Motherfucker, for what? People going to start to ask their questions. So now there's a little note in this transaction, a little note in your file, like, this motherfucker came and asked for $60,000 in cash, $50,000, whatever, a large amount of cash. You can't even leave the country across the border. I think it's with more than like $20,000 in cash on you. You got to declare it. So that's what I'm saying. Having a large amount of cash starts sending off certain warning signals. Not to mention just the fact of like having this amount of cash raises the potential of liability as far as this shit could blow away, this shit could burn up, this shit could get misplaced, this shit could get stolen, like this shit could be counterfeit. When it's in your rich people, they leave this shit in their accounts. I don't need the cash. I need the credit. I need the debt. I need the accounts. I need the fluidity of moving my shit around. Cash? Yeah, here you go. Here's $200 in cash for you. Fuck on. That's how it be. So when you got motherfuckers that idolize cash, a large amount of cash symbolizes to them that they made it. You ain't made it. You might have poked your head above the water for a second. But you're not being smart enough with your shit, especially when I hear different people, athletes, celebrities, go to the club and trick off 20, 30,000. Spend your money the way that you want to spend it. You made it. You earned it, presumably. Do your thing. But fuck that. If I'm gonna drop 20, 30,000, something like that in the club, y'all bitches can get in the video for me. Y'all can do some shit. We'll put something together, and then y'all can do what you was gonna do in the club in a fucking video for me, and then I can monetize the video, print up some merch, some IP, whatever the fuck. Like, then I can make some bread off of the bread that I spent, because that's what motherfuckers with money do. They don't need the cash. They need assets. They need credit. They need debt. And they're responsible with it so that they can continue to have it, so that they can continue to get more, so they can continue to build relationships. And that's why the banks bend over backwards to fuck with people who got money. Because one, they trust them a little bit more. Their money and shit is a little bit more fluid. They can liquidate this to cover this if there's a problem. But also because many times they're putting that money to use in a way that the bank can use. When you just go out, spend your income tax, no disrespect, but spend your income tax money on a nice new furniture set, that's good. That's good for you. But you didn't make no money off of it. And the banks, to be raw about it, they take money and flip it and make money off of it. And you miss out on the process if all you doing is just coming and cashing your check, which they take a percentage out of, what check cashing places do. But even still, the banks, you cash your check. They take that money and loan it out. Okay, so I really don't want to get into the whole banking system. That's a whole other video or two. But on the really real, you go in there, you cash out that 60 grand that you got from that presumable sale, right? Now you got it in cash. You already losing. Because now you got warning signs on what you're doing. You got this cash, which another thing that people don't understand, that cash, because of a natural inflation, it loses its power every fucking single year. Whether inflation is high or unless it's extremely low, but for the most part, every year, $1 is worth less than it was the year, 5 years, 10 years than it was before. Go look up, go Google the shit. What's $1 in 1925 versus $1 in 2025? It's more, because money has gradually started to lose value. So what the wealthy do is they don't get cash and sit on it. They put it to use. Even if you got cash and you technically sit on it in a way that many people would think of sitting on it, like you got cash on hand. It's not even, for many wealthy people and many wealthy companies, it's not even cash on hand, because it's not cash that's sitting in an account per se. They've put that money in treasury notes. They've put that money in short-term securities so that they can get a nice little easy 3, 4, 5% off of it while it's technically sitting. What the fuck you doing? You cash out your money so that you can let everybody know that you got cash, so that weeks, months, a year or two later, you don't got cash. Whereas the people who really do got that shit, who really do sit on that shit, who really live in that lifestyle, they ain't got to show you their money. If anything, they'll show you an asset and still won't even really say nothing about it. Yeah, that's a property I own. That's a business I own. This is stock that I own. This is a bond that I own. But they're not going to go into detail about it with you, because you wouldn't know nothing about it. But cash, everybody knows something about cash. So if somebody walked up and they was like, hey, motherfuckers, look at these stock reports. Look at this detailed data that I got that's making me, $10,000 a month. What's everybody going to say? Nigga, where the money? We need to see the money. We need to see it somehow manifested to believe what you're saying. But you'll believe the motherfucker that's showering, that's making it rain with money. You'll believe that they got money. And you ain't got no information on how they got it, where it's going, just nothing. Just the fact that you see it means that they got it. But the real people who got it, you'll never see it. So I'm a little bit more in that latter type. It's just, like I said, I don't know if it's me being the Sigma male, quote unquote Sigma male. I don't know if it's just me being individually me, your boy DIV. All I know is I would much rather be the type of person that's like, we walk up into this restaurant, have a nice meal. You didn't know, I got percentage. I got percentage in this restaurant. I help them do their marketing. I help them do their advertising. So we got a business relationship. You know, like I can come here and eat for free. I can come in here and we do business together. You know what I'm saying? Or this merchandise you just bought, it's me. You know what I'm saying? That website you just went to, it's me. That link you just clicked on, I got paid on that. I'd much rather just live that type of life and have it coming in than live a life of like, hold on, I need to go to the bank and cash out this check so that I have paper money to show to the world that I'm making it. Not me. But if you think about it, like I said, a little bit deeper, cash, showing off large amounts of cash, if you celebrate and you having a good time, and also spend your money the way you want to fucking spend it. But really, and I put this in another previous video, so go check out some of my other shit, you know what I'm saying, in the catalog, whatever, you know, whatever fits you. But the people who really got it, they don't usually have to show it. They're more interested in continuing to make it as opposed to letting people know that they got it. And they're also a lot smarter with how they spend and taxes. But whatever. So it's your boy doing this thing out here, trying to make mine. I don't know what you're doing.